times will really be tough for many people in my city.
The Honourable Peter Dunn.
Mr Speaker, when we gathered in the House 2 weeks ago, just over an hour after the earthquake in Christchurch, none of us could have comprehended the scale of the destruction that was unfolding, the loss of human life, the injury, the awesome sadness and general shock that would quickly permeate that great city. We had heard at that time rumours that perhaps the cathedral spire had collapsed, that other buildings were in a state of disarray. But we too in this House were suffering that same initial shock that very quickly grabbed the entire city and indeed the entire country. We've watched in subsequent days as the tragedy has unfolded before our very eyes. We've seen the people rescued from the collapsed buildings. CTV and Pine Gould are now part of the national lexicon. We've grieved with the families from New Zealand and overseas. We've admired the indomitable spirit of the people of Canterbury, the ever-present face of Bob Parker, the rescue workers from around the world, the grim determination to carry on. And in the midst of it all, we've seen these moments of rare attempts to restore normality. The quickness with which things as basic as rubbish services were resumed. The fact that the daily newspaper was produced the following day. All small signs in their way of an absolute determination on the part of the people of that great city to pick up the threads of their daily lives as quickly as possible. But, Mr Speaker, apart from the physical rebuilding of Christchurch, which must occur and must protect the spirit and the history of that city, the far greater rebuilding will be the rebuilding of the confidence of the people of Christchurch so that Canterbury can now play once more a strong national role in the life of our country. We've heard all the statistics about the loss of employment. We've heard about the losses to our overall level of economic production. They are real. They need to be worked on. But the priority at the moment is obviously the rebuilding of the city and the restoration of normalcy to the lives of its residents. Mr Speaker, others have mentioned, and I concur with their view, the immense heart and spirit shown by so many New Zealanders and international relief workers in helping the people of Canterbury in their darkest hour. Various suggestions have been made of the things that the rest of us can do to assist. Mr Anderson made the suggestion of donating a day's pay, a good one. I'll give one more. If people who are likely to get a tax refund on their charitable donations this year were to direct that refund to the earthquake appeal, that is $154 million that would be raised. These are practical steps people can take to assist in the massive reconstruction of Christchurch. But as we go about this task, which will be ongoing probably for a generation, I think it is important that all of us pause, take stock and reflect upon the human impact of this disaster. I think of my nephews, young men growing up in that city. Many will think of other members of their family, the future they face. And the challenge for all of us is to be part of a reconstruction process that not only sees the physical locality of Christchurch restored, but the spirit and the confidence of its people restored and the contribution they make to the national way of life of our country restored. We need each other. The last few weeks have demonstrated how we work collectively well with each other. Mr Speaker, that challenge is only just beginning.